Good morning, all my crafty friends. Nana K here with NanaKDesigns.com and the Altered Book Nook on Etsy.com. How are you today? Beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning in Eastern North Carolina. We are already at the shop working. It's not early. It's nearly 8 o'clock. So I've got a little bit later start today than I normally do. And I have been in the shop trying to organize so that I'm not just so scatterbrained. I went and got me some baskets to put stuff in so I could put my hands on it. I've got another one to my left. I've kind of organized my shelving to my right. So here we go. Let's continue working on our Teal Tranquility book. It is really turning out beautiful so far, and I am just today going to do little things. I've got one page, full page plan. We're going to work on the double wide or double folded pocket on this side, the dual corner folded. So I've you folded the bottom, two bottoms down and made this kind of a V here. Anyway, we're going to work on that. I've got the pieces cut for that, but I also stated yesterday that we needed to do something to this, and we're going to work on it. So I'm going to pull out one of my glue sheets and show you. I'm going to keep this one simple, and I'm probably not going to do anything to this page. And I'm still trying to decide, when I get my decor on this, I'll decide if I want to put lace. But I believe I am going to put paper lace on this one because this is actually the intro page to the book. So we're going to kind of keep this page simple and let everything else be a surprise as we go through the book. So good morning. Thanks for visiting. Let's get busy and have fun again today. All right, I cut out yesterday when I was organizing my stuff. I went in and got my baskets like this and started putting all the stuff that I'm going to cut tags from in this one, pockets from in this one. I've got pages here that we're going to be using right here. So I've got a lot of stuff ready to go. And I did have a few pieces of these papers that I had already cut out of. And so I just utilized the clip art. Rather than throw these little small pieces away, I've cut that clip art out. And I've got clip art over here, about a sheet ready to cut too. So got a little clip art. So that's what we're going to do here is we're not going to do a full page. We're just going to decorate what we've got here. So we're going to start with gluing down the clip art we have. And if you hear a little bit of shuffling in my shop today, I have my little doggy over here with me because Papa has gone to the doctor this morning, and he just didn't act like he wanted to stay over at the house by himself today. So his nanny brought him over here so he can just kind of shuffle around. He likes to sniff around. So excuse his noise. I don't think he'll bark or anything unless somebody tries to come in the shop. And when Daddy's not here, I lock people out, so can't really nobody get in. So anyway, I thought that looked pretty in that corner there, right there. Really nice. I've got this little saying here that says pretty things. So let's grab our inker. Move this over, put this right here in front of us so you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to raise my camera up a little bit so you guys can see more of my desk. All right, and this is some stuff. I've just got everything kind of not really organized, guys. I don't think there's no such thing for me to really get organized. But a little better than it has been the last few times. And I want to corner around this before I color it. Because if I color it, then it's just ridiculous to sit here and try to keep cutting things and re-inking. So we're going to go ahead and cut it the way we want it. I like this rounded edge on these. These small things are kind of hard to get in there where I can see and make sure I've got them in. So it's kind of trial and error. So I hope I don't mess up my tag. I shuffled through my word art to find this. And yeah, I didn't mess it up. See? So we're going to go in and get the inking done to match the flowers we're using. Because this is a lighter blue instead of a teal. So we're going to make it teal. Because we can. The magic of a sponge and ink. Isn't that amazing? And I don't know, but I think I might just kind of swirl across the top like that. And that made it a whole lot more tealy. All right, I'm making new names up today. All right, lay that there. All right, and I'm going to put this right over the wording so it says pretty things. My small glue sticks have come in. I guess I need to grab one because this is kind of little for a great big glue stick to be gluing. So I will, in a minute, reach up there and grab one of my new small ones to have on hand when I need it. And I got to pull this to me just a minute, guys. Or either stick my head in one so I can get it straight. I most everything. Got to turn it up a minute. Okay. So that's on. Now, let's see, what else can we put on here? Get my glue pad. Now, we got another corner here. Do we want to go like this? Like this, maybe? No, I think I like that flower over the top like that, and I can trim off a little bit at that bottom. And I kind of like that kind of cornered out too. Even though I didn't have a corner piece again, I'm going to corner that out, and then we're going to define a butterfly. I think that's all we're going to do on this page. So we're going to do this one first and this one second. So let me see about how much space I need to move this one over. I'm going to make myself a space. And I use my trusty pen to do that, guys. And you may not have to do those kind of silly things, but that just gives me an idea where I want to lay the rose once I get it down. And this has got a little bit of glue on it, so we're going to fold it over and ink this up. Ink. I keep saying ink. Glue it up. Paste it. Inking, gluing. That's two words I want to mix up. Hey, but I got an excuse. I'm older. But I'm so blessed. I may be older and I may be aging and my health may be going down, but I have been so blessed in my 68 years on this earth. I will just not complain. I do have to have a swallow of my juice this morning. My mouth is dry. Excuse me. Swipe my grandson's juicy juices, so I hope you don't mind. I just couldn't go coffee this morning. That's unusual for me. I usually have to have my coffee, but it just wasn't good this morning. For some reason, after I opened a can of coffee, after I've perked some 2 or 3 times, it just gets old tasting. I don't know what's wrong with coffee. I remember as a child getting coffee at my grandmother's, and the coffee we get now does not taste like the coffee my grandmama had. Of course, neither do the collards or the biscuits or the dumpling. Nothing tastes like it. Even meat to me now, chicken especially, does not have flavor. I don't know what they do to these animals now. For one thing, I guess they just so rapidly grow them that they're just not getting good nutrition, and they're not good. They don't have flavor in their meat. How in the world did I get off on that tangent? I don't know. But anyway, overlook me. All right, guys, this is going to be a simple page. And once I find my butterfly, and I have one in mind, I know I cut it out yesterday, and I'm going to reach up there in my little bucket and find him. Because I had a right good size, pretty one. That looks really pretty there. I think that's, see, sometimes simplicity is all you need. Now, I want to look, I just out of curiosity, I want to see how much it's going to cover. I really do not want that lace to cover my roses. So how are we going to do this? Are we going to just ignore that side and just do it on one side maybe? No, it doesn't look that right that way. I'm wondering if maybe, I hope I haven't completely got it dry. I may put the flower over. Guys, let's try. I think this one's already dry though, so we're not going to be able to move this one. And that's sometimes the way it goes, but I really kind of wish, I'm going to look one more time. Boy, that yoo-hoo is holding this morning. It doesn't always hold that tight. I was going to say we'll put the lace underneath. Nah, I'm going to leave this page without it. I'm not even going to put lace on that page. I just don't like it over the top of it unless I color it, but it is just taking up so much of the flower design. I really now wish I had moved it over to the edge. And if I had it to do all over again, that's what I would do. I would put the lace down and then move the flower over a little more. We'll think on that. That is the first page, and the lace really does need to go up there. But I'll have to think on that. I might just mess this piece of lace up and see if coloring it helps any. Nah. I just don't know, guys. We're going to think about that one. Even if I have to go back and find this sheet and cut these two corners out again, I may. So we're going to just drop that in there, let myself know that I have a question about if I want to put the lace on this front page. And this was the butterfly I wanted. I had cut them out yesterday, so I knew I had some. Okay. But now where to place him? I definitely got to make sure I place him where, if we do put the lace on, we're not going to have an issue. Again, this is attached to this page, so there's no deep spine here. You need to stay away from that edge. This piece needs to stay as loose as possible because we're already going to have to replace these two. All right, so let's, for which way? Yeah, I want him going that way. And sometimes I'm finicky that way. Just the positioning of the way I position something has an aesthetic look to me, and I guess that's the way it really is with everybody. I don't know. I don't have a lot of people saying, but that's how I design. I design by turning, twisting, looking, and whatever finally gets a real appeal to my eye, that's the way I go. That's the only way I know how to express my art. It's just what my eye sees. And I hope y'all like what you see. I try hard to pick bright colors, and you know, I do shop hard for the graphics that I use in my kits, and I do put a lot of thought in everything I do, guys, for y'all. And I do this just as much for you as I do for myself, because we're all given different talents, and if I can share my talent with somebody else and make their life wonderful, that is all well and good to me. All right, guys, that is the first one. Let's get some of the stuff moved back out of the way, keep everything nice and neat if we can while we're taping. When I'm not videoing, it's a riot in here. But all right, so there we go. That's pretty. It was simple little page. We didn't do a massive amount, but just that little bit of decorating gives you the introduction to the front of the book, or to the book itself. We've got a little hang over here, so grab your snips. If you've got the same thing, if you're doing your book and you see little snippy places, cut them off. That is cute. All right, so that's introducing the book now. And you could, this is just an option, do it lightly if you do. Just come in and do a little bit of staining like you're maybe making some clouds. You can, and I am. Just a little staining, not a lot. It's very light, and you may not even can see it on the video, but I can see it, and I'm definitely going to go down the edge. Pull my book up so I get some flat surface to work with. And I definitely want to be careful and not make it look like the roundness of the dabber. So, okay, there we go, guys. I think that's adequate for me. I hope you like it. I'm going to lift it up so you can see it a little closer. You really can't see the keel that just went in there, but it's there. Oh, my thing went dark a little bit. All right, let's go. We are going to work on this other page that I said, on this one today. So it looks like we might have, maybe six more videos before we do the cover. I'm not sure, guys. This is going to be a long series because like I say, I'm not making them real long each video. I'm kind of just doing 1 or 2 pages, and if we have time today, we'll do this one. It's not a hard one to do. All right, so let's work. First step, if you've already glued it together, gently pull it apart. I was able to get it apart yesterday. I didn't think we were going to, but we did. I told you to glue it when we first started the book, when I was showing you how to fold the pages, but really later on I showed you just keep everything unglued until you get to it. Make your little notes about where your glue spots are going to go when you're planning, like we did. But anyway, if you missed that video, that's it's either the first or the second video in the series. I believe it might be the second, but look at part 1 and part 2. That'll give you how to get all your folds if you're just now coming into the series. Make sure you go there and look. All right, so here's my plan. I did pre-plan this. I did some cutting, so you're not going to get to see all that scrambling through stuff and all. I'm actually just going to show you the parts as we need them. And I got to gently pull this paper clip off my lace here because it has gotten into one of the hollows. There we go. Very carefully. And I'll show you how I made that. But we're going to start with our background piece. And so far, I've been able to match these pages face to face like this in our backgrounds. You can do it however you want. You can do a printed piece on the back. It doesn't have to be a printed piece. All right, these are separated here. So we're going here. All right, here. Again, measuring as close as you can. Remember now, if a little bit of the cream color from the aged pages shows, don't worry about it, because you can always come back and ink a little if you want. That's up to you. I'm not even been doing that so far. I may at the end of the book come back and ink the whole book. I have not made my decision on how much ink I'm going to put on it. But anyway, we're going to start on the back page. Let's get us another glue piece down. I'm reaching up over my head a minute. All right. Again, from my experience yesterday, I really bear down heavy on these four corners. That's the first way I ink, bearing down on these corners hard, because that seems to be where I'm having the hardest place putting the glue. I have my turbo fan on my heater, and I think it's drying the stuff a little quick. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip that over just in case, because this pink has a tendency to change a little bit of color if you get this glue on the front of it. So that's another thing you'll learn as you go, what affects your pages of color. So just be aware of little things like that as you're working. Okay, we're going to grab that. Start out with a new wipey this morning and get my desk clean. I don't want any mess ups if I can help it. I don't like a lot of errors, and although I think it's good that you guys get to see a few so that you know how to correct things. So we won't fret over the little stuff. Like one of my favorite painters would say, Bob Ross, they're just happy little accidents. I think that was how he said it, and I might not have said it right because it's been a while since I watched his videos. I miss him very much. I used to sit every Saturday morning and watch Bob Ross paint a beautiful picture. I always wanted to buy one of his pictures, but I've never been able to find one, and now I find that some partner that he was in business with took everything from his children. When he passed away, the kids didn't get anything. I think it's so wrong and so sad, and they have all his paintings. They have possession of them. The children have nothing. That is so sad. It's so sad that the world is that greedy. Because Mr. Bob Ross, from what I could gather, was a very simple man. He wasn't a money-hungry person like the people that connived him, I say, to go into business with him. And I don't even know their names and don't care to know them. I'm just filling that out just a little because that has a tendency to make a little hump, so I pulled it out. All right, let's go down. Now we're going to our next part. I've already cut these the size I need them, and I had designed them where, let's see, this one's going to go over this one right here. You got to get it right. That one goes there on this edge, and this one is folded to go on this edge. There's a piece of paper. I cut it. And that one's to go right there. Now, when I got this put together, when I was planning the page, I just didn't like that look there. I did not like it. Wasn't happy with it. So I made this strip to go here. So we're going to have a strip down the center of that to separate those. This was made from another one of my lacy cuts. And then I used a piece of washi tape down the center. I did have to trim the washi tape a little, but it was easy enough on my trimmer. I was surprised, but that's what that is. That's just washi tape and the paper lace. So let's get this down. Another blue sheet. I've already folded it and everything right where I needed it. So, again, this is where pre-planning just really helps us here. Sometimes you may have wanted to see the cutting, but it is, I've done so much of it. I hope that you've got the hang of measuring and twist, you know, how you have to sit down and measure. And really, experience is the best teacher when it comes to this part of doing the book. It really is. Experience is your best teacher here. I really wish I had, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's just go with it. I got to make sure that we are here. I got to turn the book around, even though we don't want the book to look that way. We're trying to make the pockets where I've got to get it right at this edge here. That's where I'm trying to get all the way to the edge. You've got your fold under here to straighten up that a little. Even though you've already got it folded here, it just gives it a little more strength by saving enough to fold over. You don't have to, though, guys. You could have cut this where it was just even and fitted on, but I like to fold over so that when you're putting stuff in the pocket, just hold the book up so you can see, you don't really see all that writing. You see a little bit of it, but not as distinctly as if you didn't cover any of it. Again, right here in the gutter, even though I got a lot of the other glue on it, I am going to put a little bit of berry arts there, just for a little extra security on that side or underneath. Right there. Y'all gonna have to excuse me a minute. I have to speak to my animal. He's plundering in my trash. Toby, no. I'm sorry, guys. I just thought it was easier to just go ahead and speak to him rather than cut the video off. Again, I've said it a million times. You guys are seeing Nana Kay raw and unrehearsed. This is how I function every day. All right, we're going to get the second one on. All right, let's see. I don't know what happened to our spring weather. I've gotten up cold to a cold morning. It was almost freezing outside last night. I think my sister said we got down to 37 degrees. Now, we've been having beautiful spring weather now. All of a sudden, right here at the very end of April, almost May, the cold weather's jumped back on us. No. This, that's typical. It's funny because this is typical North Carolina weather. Hey, it would not surprise me if it snowed. Honestly, it just would not. Okay, I'm fitting that one right there in that corner, making sure it overlaps properly, patting it all the way down, sealing it. We've got a good tight seal now. We got a little bit of black showing there. That's not going to work for me. So I'm going to pull up. Yep, see, we've got a little bit of a gap. Got to pay attention to that. I am going to try to get it down just a little bit more, because I did have it where it didn't show any black before when I rolled it over. And I think we're still getting some. But that's the good thing about that glue. It will let me, there we go. Sometimes it takes just a little bit extra effort, but we've got it. Okay, I don't think I'm going to have to, put any of the other on there. And I tell you what, some lace across there would have been pretty too, and I may go back and do that. But this is where this one's going to go. We're going to put this one down the center. And I'm going to use the berry arts on this one, because I want to get all these little points done. Well, the other glue really goes on easier. It does. It gets a little bit on the top, but we're going to go with it. Be really careful and not lay that back on top of that. I see all them little points. It's just easier to do the stick glue to get that. All right, let's get the book. So we can maneuver ourselves a little. I want it right at the bottom. I cut it as straight as I could. I want to try to get it right down the middle. So let's look at it. Let's slide it. Okay, this is going to be a lovely pocket here. Okay, my wipe is not dry good, so I don't want to put too much pressure on this, on the ink, while this wipe is still wet. I got some paper towels though. We can solve that problem right there. There we go. That works. That's the only thing about the glue on that lace. It does squeeze to the top, to the little holes. All right, so we've got the lace on it. We're going to come in and trim off that edge. That went faster than I thought. I like pre-planning these, but I will cut the next one. Okay, so we're going to come straight across this top and trim that. Okay. I am going to save that little piece. Not that I really need it, but it's cute. Alright, let me make sure I'm straight. And I'm not. Just a little crooked. So let's try that one more time. Now that's nice and straight. Alright, now we're going to put the pocket down. We're going to seal it. Right through the center here. Here, here, and through the center. Alright, again, remember, glue in the deep little corner right here, the gutter. You want to seal that. You want a good portion here to separate the two pockets. And you don't have to separate the pockets if you don't want to. That's a choice. Again, it's your book. Do it how you want. Then up these two sides. Okay. We're going to hold the book up straight. It's my first inclination is to go straight with it. Down in these corners with your fingernails, a pair of scissors, your bone folder, whatever you can get down in that little area. This little thing works really nice for pressing that bottom down all the way to the binding tape on your binder, I guess that's called a binder. Okay. Okay. All right, let's take a look. Hold it up and look. Yep, we got a complete seal there. And we've got a complete seal there, and that's what we're after. Now we're going to want to just kind of frame the pages to go back straight. I will put this in a book press. I do have a press. And let me tell you something. If you do T-shirts or you've got one of those heat presses, you can put your book on that after you've got it done. Now, you don't want to do it when until you're ready to completely flatten your book. But you can put that in the press overnight between two pieces of wood with some other books stacked on it to straighten the pages out. Because mine are curling just a little, but I've noticed that once I flatten the book at night, I'm not having the curling the next day. We'll kind of straighten that out. Okay, now we've got that page done. That is a lovely page. I have not pre-planned, and I'm guilty. I have not pre-planned the cards that's going to go inside. That's something I didn't get done last night before I left. But we are going to try to do a little bit of color on this seam here. Okay. That looks pretty on the center. And like I said, if you have it sticking out and you wanted to just add a little more color, you can always do that on these edges. But if you start doing it in some pages, you're probably going to end up needing to do all your pages. So I'll just go ahead and warn you, that's really something you need to think about. Okay, so I'm going to let it dry, but we've got a button folder. We have a pocket here, and we have a pocket here, guys. And my cards that I use will be designed to pull out again this way, so that you're looking at the book this way. And again, I got my butterfly going down. I really don't like that look, but that's the way it turned out. So anyway, I think he looks fine. He's pretty. All right, so and we got to get our lace on. This is our next step. No, wait a minute. Let's just do the cover first. All right, the picture I had chosen on the page, I've chose the fairy. I have a lantern over here with light, and she's holding a lantern. So I thought the two pages kind of blended. So this is what's going here. So we're going to get this one cut to fit. It looks like the height is right, but again, we're too deep into the gutter of the book. So we do not want to get that deep. So we're going to come in and I'm going to cut a little bit off the side, because I do not want to cut a great big chunk off either side. So grab my trusty little cutter and I'm just going to guesstimate. I don't even know how much I'm cutting, so I'm just going to cut a little at a time. Even if I have to make 2 or 3 cuts, that's fine. Because like I've always said, you can take some more off, but you can't put it back once you took it off. So, well, not easily. It can be done, but not easily. So let's keep things as simple as we can. That's probably more than I really want to take off, but we'll see. We don't want it to come beyond the letters, and it just barely did. So again, I've got to ease it that way a little. Even if I've got some showing here, my lace is going to cover it. So we are there, and I'm feeling like I've got a little bit of hangover here on this bottom, and I do just a very minute amount. So this one I'm going to play it safe, and we're going to cut this with the utility knife, with the craft knife instead. We're going to mark it. We're going to mark it. We're going to make sure it's straight. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set the book up a minute, guys. Lay this on here. Lay the seam straight across that line. So I'm pretty straight. Grab one of my rulers. And then I'm going to lay that across that black line going down so that I get a good, clean cut. Just a little bit, just enough so that it's not hanging over. A lot easier to cut it before I put it on the page than it is to trim it once it's on the page. Just another little tip from Nana Kay. Make sure you're upright. I think we've got it now. I think I'm satisfied with that all the way across. Make sure I'm right along that wording. Got some gutter space there, not deep into the gutter. Okay. Looks good, so let's go for it. Another routine. I want to get me a flat piece. It's a little bigger. That's not bigger either. I do not like to waste my cardstock, but I need a little bit bigger piece to work on with these pieces. I got to get me a bigger glue book. I've sure got an old encyclopedia back there. I probably could use some of those pages. Oops, and I really just smeared the glue that time. We'll come back and get it off the board in a minute. Get the corners good again. Along these edges. I got a little bit of light shining in my window so I can see. Okay. Now it's gotten too quiet. My dog's too quiet. Maybe he's gone to sleep. I just scolded him because he was trying to dig in my trash can. I think somebody came in and threw a McDonald's bag or something away in my trash can. I don't have food over here, and I don't know who did that, but that's a no-no here. All right, we want to cover the black line up, so I'm going to try to line up from the back side and top and bottom and slide it right along there. Now, that doesn't mean that's the placement I want, so I have to go really slow and make sure that we're staying even across here, just a light touch while I'm first doing it to make sure we've got what we want. The letters are showing again, so you see that's what I didn't want. So we're going to pull it up again. That's why I didn't press hard. So we're going to try one more shot at it. Go a little bit further that way so that when we press down, we're all where we want to be. I'm going to go ahead and press that a little. Maybe it won't slide this time. Okay, press my hands. I'm really, guys, just barely touching the pages just to make sure that my edges are smooth, and I still have to trim a little bit of that unless I move it up. And there's no purpose in it. The paper does stretch a little when it gets wet, and it will shrink back down some. But I am going to come in and try to trim this off while it's still really wet. I don't like the look, and we're going to get it off. Be careful when you're doing this, though. You don't want to cut your base page, your printed page underneath. So be careful if you have to do any of this trimming, but I got it. It was just a slither, but just enough. I didn't like the look. All right, so now I'm going to open my book and lay this one down and flatten it. Do not want to curl. Hopefully it's not going to curl, but like I say, once you close the book, these pages start laying back out, and I am pressing hard to get all the air out from under it. I like a nice stiff page here. I've got too much gap here. We're going to go back with some glue. See if we can get a good seal there. Another thing you can do right here, you could put just a tiny piece of score tape across there along with some glue. But I think I just put enough that time that's really going to hold it. All right, so both pages, as far as the general page layout goes, are done. We've got the fairy and the beautiful lantern. They turn out really cute together. This pocket is really cute. So the next step, and I've got a couple pieces done, is our paper lace. My glue sheet. Got my paper lace here. Make sure it's a good piece. Make sure it's a fit. If y'all notice, I did glue these this time where they actually fit. I'm not having to cut anything off. I just overlaid them completely so that they fit. I'm not having to do all that cutting. Any little thing you can do as you go along and figure out how to save yourself a little time but still get good quality is what you need to be doing. My way is not the only way. And I will say that 100,000 times. My way is just my way. It is ways I have picked out for me, what makes things convenient for me. You may have another way, and that is fine, not a problem. As a matter of fact, if you ever do videos, let me know. I'll watch them because I love to watch what other people do. I get a lot of ideas from what other people do. All right, we're laying our lace down now. Yes, it's going right across the top of the pocket. That's okay. You're still going to have plenty of room. Matter of fact, I think I am going to see if that's still, I'm not going to press yet. I think I'm going to see if I can pull that up. Let's see what it looks like over. Yeah, I'm going to pull the pocket over the lace. I want my pocket open. So we are going to leave that up a minute and get our lace down, and I'm going to pull the pocket over the lace, guys. I did just change my mind, and I'm apt to do that, as you know. If you've watched me enough now, you know I am apt to change my mind. All right, lace down on that side. This is one beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journal so far. I'm loving it. I'm very satisfied with this journal. Sometimes I do them and sit them on the shelf and don't ever want to look at them again, but this one is one that I would, if I was keeping this one, I'm not, but I would be looking at this one quite frequently. This just has lovely colors, lovely texture. All right, we got that side done. That looks good, guys. That is a beautiful page. The colors here, these colors here really just are eye-popping to me. I hope that you're getting justice done looking at it. That's a really eye-popping page right there to me. All right, let's get this back side done. As you know, I do the lace double. You don't have to. That's up to you. But I like it to be exactly the same on both sides if possible. And this one you have to actually do the top because you want the two laces to weld together. Paper welding is really important when you're trying to put strength on an edge or something. You want these pages to weld really tightly together to almost till they get to be the point as they're one page again or one piece again. Just gives you a lot of strength to do it that way. That's why I press down so hard when I'm pressing down, because I really want these two pages to just become one. You get a whole lot less tearing, a lot less buckling, a lot less bubbling up later. So now, got to line them up. And sometimes I have to lift my page because the page behind it with lace already on it kind of distorts my view. But this one, I think I've got it. I've got to look at it both sides. Okay. Fingers across. Oh, and also, every once in a while, you really need to wipe your fingers. Keep the oils off your papers. They will show up later. It's a yellow staining. And everyone has oils on the finger. I don't care who you are. Your skin produces some oils. So keep your fingers, keep something right handy that you can just wipe every now and then. Okay. So let it dry a little while, and then what we'll do when we're checking the final pages of the book, we will go back and check the edges of this lace to make sure it's all adhered. Again, guys, this is paper lace. It is not cloth lace. So the reason I did the double, for one, is aesthetically it looks better on both sides to be the same, and secondly, it gives me strength so that the glue and the paper together makes a really strong little piece there where you're not going to get, I think, ripping and tearing. Okay, the book will always have to have a little caution because it is so delicate, but basically that's those 2 pages done. We got, again, this is what we did this morning. We did this page here, just really light graphics to get our introduction page going. It says pretty things. Blended as much color as we could. Then we came in and we did this pocket here, which is a dual pocket on both sides. I call them corner folds. It's the top and bottom corner fold. I've got a little piece of something showing there. I'm going to trim real quickly. Don't like that look. Just kind of go back and make sure everything's like you want it. And now we're going to try to look through our journal cards and see if we can find 2 that's already done. We don't have to go and print some. If not, I'll make some and add it to the kit. All right, journal cards are on the bottom here. And like I said, I did really want them to come in and out like that, but they don't have that. That's not bad. Those, matter of fact, I got a matching set right here, and I think that's what I'm going to go with. We will have to trim them down a little, but there's a nice set right there. They look all right turned that way. That's not a problem. Okay, so I'm going to do them this way. Let me think a minute, because then the butterflies, yeah, I don't care. You know, it's all right. Let's do them anyway. All right, because they match really pretty. Now the flowers are different. Let me look one more time. Just one more time. Let me look. I like the writing one too. But the flowers don't match. These flowers match, but I think it's really too small. I've used that a bit already. There's a lantern. That's what I'm going with. The first one I pulled out. The other thing you can do is if you didn't like that, you could have gone in and pulled out one of your pages. Oh, that's my pages. I got a set over here of stuff that I'm using to make cards out of. We could go through this and pull out something. Or I could even look at some of these tags. We could go with tags. They're too tall, so you still have to do a lot of work to those too. These smaller, I got one more set of tags. Let me see if they're a good size. And you know what, guys? They are. If you wanted to do a tag, you could do a tag. That's not a bad size, but I'm going with the card. All right, just my instinct today. All right, first things first, we know. What's the first thing? These are going to be journaling cards, so they have to have a good background. Let's put our book upright like this a little bit, so hopefully you can still see it somewhat, but we're going to get it out of the way. So first step is to get my hard backing on, and I didn't mean to do this last night and didn't do it, so you get to watch this part on the final part of this morning video. I'll be doing another video late this afternoon. I'm trying to produce 2 a day for this book so that we can get through it. That way, you guys, if you're having to prep your books and do after me, you've got the videos way ahead so you know what you're going to be doing. All right, and I am doing this before I trim it down Sometimes I would have trimmed it down, but it might just make this, and I can see that I just got that crooked, I think, or maybe my paper's cut crooked, so we will have to straighten that paper out. It's not real straight. Because I would think the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper is straight, so that's a telltale sign that it's not straight. And I did hand cut these. They do not get as straight on these edges if I hand cut it or instead of using my cutter. I did hand cut these yesterday afternoon. Okay, come on. Let's get these people going for today. All right, so we've got those two, and they're identical, but that's okay. It's on the same page. I don't have a problem with them being identical. If you don't like them identical, you can, like I say, go through the elements that come with the kit and find something else, or make another card, or go through something else that you've got in your stash. All right, so let's trim them down. The vacuum's on them. Trim them down cautiously. Okay. Let's trim down a little bit. Same thing here. And I'm not going to cut that edge off and straighten it out yet. We're just going to go this route first. But I can tell you that edge is not straight either. We'll trim all this up because we're going to trim this card up anyway. I'm not sure about the depth, but the width of it we're going to trim up. I have a little bucket over here now to my left that has my cardstock in it. I really tried yesterday afternoon late to make things a lot simpler on this desk. All right, now let's do some measuring. Let's see where our pocket is. It goes over to right about there, so it's open to there, and it's open to right about here. So we've got a good wide opening, looks like there. So I'm going to measure by centimeters. Sometimes it's easier. Okay, it was approximately 8. Let's see. I think I'm going to make the card approximately 7 because we don't want it totally up there. Centimeters or 3 inches. Yeah, 3 inch. We want the card to be 3 inches up out of the way a minute book. Let's look at what 3 inches will give us on here. I am just eyeballing it, guys, so that I can try to keep as much of that frame in it as I possibly can. So it's appearing to me that we're going to have to make our mark about here and about here. Now, what I will do is I will cut this one first. And that doesn't mean the pockets are exactly the same, so, you know, it may not work. But I'm going to cut this one first. And then I will just cut this one and use this and lay it over this one to cut it. Make it easier than doing all the measuring twice. Just another little tip trick from Nana Kay. You got a simpler way, that's fine. I'm old-fashioned, and I guess I still do everything the hard way. Okay, I just left a little bit of a pencil mark, so I'm going to go ahead and erase that off. I don't want my pencil mark showing. And that pencil mark is not easy to see, but it's right there. Hopefully I didn't cut off all my border. I cut right much of it off, but it's okay. It's just still a little bit. All right, let's see if this is going to fit and how deep it needs to fit. All right, we got it there. Okay, we got it there. And it needs to be trimmed off. All right, let's see what we got at the bottom. We can't trim much. I'm going to trim this and this off and see where we come out. Right at the teal lines for the height. Didn't really want to cut that much off, but I don't think I have no choice if I want a good fit. Because I do not want the card to stick beyond the lace. Hope that's making sense to you. And I think I'm going to keep this journal card square because I can. Oh no, I keep saying that. And you know, you could go in and do something fancy in the corners if you wanted. You can stain these edges. Let me just take a look right quick and see if this is going to work on both sides. So what we'll do is we'll test. All right, that looks good to me. I like, okay, let me put it down. It's fitting nicely. You're seeing lace. You still got, there's a card there you can grab. Don't have to put a full tab on it. Let's see if this side is going to fit on this side. Also, both sides work, so we're going to go with the plan, and we're going to lay this on here the same and just take a look. I know that I can cut this right around the frame, and that's going to give me my card. So this one will be a little easier to do if I don't mess up. If I don't mess up, it'll be a little easier to do. Don't have to do all that measuring. All right, got that side down. I kept a little more of the frame on that one, so it might be just a tad larger, but I don't care. It's okay. Let me get it up here where it's straight. Get it up here where it's straight. Trying to stay in the camera is sometimes a little difficult, guys, but I'm trying to stay in the camera for you. I cut it there. I'm going to save these 2 strips into my stack shape pack. So when I do stacks, I've got all kinds of little strips and things. Okay, that was too little to save. I think we've got it. Let's make sure this card is now going to fit in. So over there, get our book back down, and let's make sure this one's going to slide in nicely. Oh, let's do it the right way. Okay. Let's go in and open up our pocket. Sometimes you have to kind of open your pocket up a little bit, guys. Okay. That's going in nicely. That's going in nicely. Okay, that looks good. So, last step. Cards are made the size we want them. Last step. Can you think what the last step is? Yes, writing, making a writing space on the back. Turn around and get our writing paper out. Time to print some more. All right. I think because we've done so much writing space that we're just going to lay these as a flat. Let me look and see if I've got some that I don't have to lose. Yeah. I'm going to take a piece I've already cut, guys, to do this because I'm not going to make this a folded one and save our big one so we can make a flip out if we want to. I think I've got enough here to do this. Yes. I'm just going to make these flat this go round. No flip outs, no fancy nothing. If I was to do anything, we could flip it from the top and still use the same piece of paper. Well, we'll leave that option open as we're going. We'll make our decision. I don't want to overcrowd that pocket because these are fitting kind of tight already. But like, you know, the little flips of the journal pages, the cards and all opening up, I just really like them. I just really like the style. I like the fact that as a person is flipping through their journal and writing, they have a lot of variety of places to write and little surprises. And when you pull a journal card out and it flips up, it's just kind of interactive. That's the word I'm trying to use. I like my journals to be interactive for whoever gets them. Let's just see if we're going to have enough space to do a down flip. No, it's not going to be quite as long. And I think if we were to not have that, if we were to have that flip on it, I think when you're putting it in and out, you might have a little issue. So let's just go with the original plan and just make this a non-interactive. You just flip it over and write on it. We're not going to have a flip up on this one. I might even just totally confuse you. I have a tendency to confuse myself, but no, I hope you understood what I said. The paper's just not quite big enough to do a flip on this one upward. And if it's not all the way to the bottom, when you put it in, it might catch on this edge here. We don't want that. Excuse me, I didn't mean to drop my glue. Okay. Okay. I'm hoping, let I'm getting this straight. It is straight. Okay. I'm pressing hard. I'm going to turn it over and press again, because this is how I kind of flatten it back out when it's starting to want to roll. Okay. You don't want your cards to roll. Again, this is something else you might have to flatten. Okay, so that's pretty much got it. Again, got to cut everything off. My cutter's a little bit out of the view, guys, but you know, I'm just cutting. I'm measuring and cutting, that's all. I'm cutting the line, excess line paper off the card. Oh, and it didn't grab it. I think it's because it's still a little damp, wet, so we'll try again. Press down, press down. There we go. Got it that time. I still really like that flip up. Oh, but I don't think I'm going to change my mind. We're going to go for it, like I said. Keep this card simple. Okay. Paper back in my paper box behind me. Oh, how lovely. Okay. All right, guys. I cut a little bit more off that one than I wanted to, but it's okay. That works. All right, I'm going to keep taking my finger and kind of flattening it. It's starting to take that roll out now. Right here. Buckle the card. Okay, kind of flattened it. All right. Making up the white on the edges. Don't want white showing. I don't. That's up to you. I just like to ink up a little bit. Give it a good blend. Keep everything color matching as much as possible. I'm going to press this one too one more time. Nice hard press. Wheel them two pieces together. Really good. Okay. Time to wipe my desk a little. Okay, on this particular card, my butterfly, one butterfly's going the other way, and one's going this way, as you see. So I'm going to put it in, well, no, one's up straight and one's going sideways, but I'm going to put it in. I was going to switch sides, and it doesn't matter which side it goes in. All right, card is going into the pack now. Do we want the butterfly show? No. Go in. Sitting tight. I might have to switch sides. I may have made one a little larger than the other. Okay. Once they dry and get good and stiff, they'll go in and out like they're supposed to. Now, there we go. One of them is kind of even. Okay, guys, that's done. So now that page is done with this beautiful card. We will come back later and make sure we do some kind of something to these other pages. This is going to be the end of this video, and I am going to, next time, we're going to do a corner pocket, and hopefully I'll have one of our large journal cards prepped to go into our large pocket. I think I've got a large pocket in the front somewhere that I may have messed up. There it is. This one too. We're going to have to get a journal card for this one. So while I'm making the journal cards, I'm probably going to go ahead and make the 3 for the large pockets on our next video. So this is Nana Kay saying thanks for watching. Try to mimic that page if you can. Please like and subscribe on the video here. Watch the video all the way through. Go to my Ko-fi site and register, because I am getting ready to put some freebies up in the next couple of days on the Ko-fi site. Now, when you go on the Ko-fi site, it'll take you to the shop to get the freebies, and it will look like you're trying to purchase something, but it says 0 when it says the price. You can just go in and click on it. You will not be charged with it. So go in there. There is a freebie tag already in there for all you guys that are hanging with me. That's on the coffee shop. It's in the description below. You will see the link below. You just click on it and it'll carry you there. But please get registered there. So if I have extras that I need to send you, extra pieces to the kit that you need, I'm going to do some freebies for this particular kit, the Teal Tranquility. They will be on the coffee site. The freebies will. And again, the Teal Tranquility is on sale in the Nana K Design site right there. And if you've already purchased, please notify me, because I have added a few things yesterday to the kit, and I need to update your kit if I have not already. I think Blondie, I have gotten yours already updated if you're watching, so I think you've already got all the updates. Maybe not. We'll go over it. I'll go back and look again to make sure. But that's all for now. Nana K signing off for the early part of Tuesday. I will be back on this afternoon late, and we will do the next 2 pages in our book. And like I say, make the large journal cards. The afternoon video may be a little longer than this morning one. Hope not, but maybe a little bit longer. So bye-bye for now, and have a blessed day.